Hey everybody, so we got one more thing this unit. It's about being able to identify what kingdom real species belong in. So here's our assignment today. I'm going to help you through the first one, and then I want you to go ahead and try the second three on your own, and then when you turn it in, I'll correct it. So do check after I grade it. Check for corrections so you can see where you might have gone wrong. You might have got 100%, then you can pat yourself on the back. But what we're going to look at is using a picture and or description describe what kingdom the organism belongs in. So you're going to use your dichotomous key. That's this thing right here. You are more than welcome. In fact, you are encouraged to use this on the test. The test is coming up next week, so be ready for that and have this dichotomous key ready to go. And let's go from there. So this dichotomous key is going to separate all things that are alive into one of these 6 kingdoms or domains. So let's start with the first one. Actually, let's start with the hints. These hints, so like if you can see whatever organism we're talking about, it must be multicellular, because if you can't see an organism, it's going to be single-celled. So if you can see it, you're going to go this direction. And then after that, we're going to just decipher, is it an autotroph or a heterotroph? And the way you know that is if it's green, it can do photosynthesis, so therefore it's an autotroph. If it's not green, it can't do photosynthesis, so it's a heterotroph. If you go the heterotroph route, there's one more layer we have to figure out, ingestion or absorption. So ingestion is going to be an organism that has a mouth, or sometimes it's just an opening, depending on the species. And so if that does not exist, then it's going to use absorption. So it'll just be next to the stuff and absorb it into its body. So if we had a unicellular organism, so you couldn't see it under with the naked eye, so if you looked at it under a microscope, then you'd see one of two things. If there's nothing really visible inside, there's no nuclei, you don't really see any organelles, then you have a prokaryote. If you do see something inside, you see a nucleus or something like that, you have a eukaryote. So if you go the eukaryote route, then you know that you have a species in the kingdom Protista. If you cannot see anything, you have one of these two choices. So if it lives in an extreme environment, like extreme to us, so like super hot or way too much salt or very acidic, like pH 1 or 2. If you have one of those, you have an extreme environment. If you have something normal, like, your backyard, or even if you go to the mountains, that's still considered normal or common conditions. So then if it's extreme, it's here. If it's not extreme, it's here. It's bacteria. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one. This is fly agaric mushroom, known for its fairy tale illustrations, and incidentally, it's hallucinogenic and toxic properties. Don't eat this. It's like terrible. In fact, don't eat any mushrooms in the wild unless you know like a bazillion% what it is, because most likely it's going to be toxic. So don't eat mushrooms in the wild. But anyway, if you can see that without a microscope, which of course we can, so we're going to write in here, we can see it. So it is multicellular. So that means I have gone to the right on my key. So then my next step, okay, is it an autotroph or a heterotroph? Well, if it's green, it's an autotroph, but these aren't green. So we're going to say it's not green. So it is a heterotroph. So now we're here. Now we got to figure out, does it ingest using a mouth, or does it absorb because it doesn't have a mouth? Well, mushrooms don't have mouths. So there is no opening, or mouth if you prefer. Let's say that, because then we remember what we were talking about. So it uses absorption. And there we go. So since it uses absorption, here's its kingdom. Kingdom is fungi. You can write the domain as well if you'd like, but you do not have to. So the kingdom is fungi. Okay, let's look at another one. I was looking through a microscope, so there's a key there. I was looking through a microscope, so we can't see this with our naked eye. So let's immediately, we know we're going to say we can't see it. So it is unicellular, or one cell. There we go. So coming to our key, we are now right here on unicellular. Now we need to determine prokaryote or a eukaryote. So remember the way we know that. Nothing visible, prokaryote, there we go. Okay, so keep reading. There were all kinds of things swimming around in there. Some were green and some were clear, and none of them had stuff inside their cells. So that's what we needed to know. Nothing was on the inside. There is, and I don't love how this is worded, because there is stuff inside the cell, but there's nothing like visible with the microscope. So there is nothing visible, so it is therefore a prokaryote. Okay, so we're here on prokaryote. Now, does it live in normal or common environment or extreme? Well, it was from backyard. So it's in normal environment, normal condition, so it's called a common environment. Therefore, we know that this is in the domain bacteria. There is no specific kingdom for this because bacteria is all kind of lumped into one domain together. There we go. Okay, let's write this all the way out. So it says on your own, I'm going to help you with this one. So here's meerkats. They're 1 foot tall with tan and gray fur, black tipped ears and a tail. They can be found in deserts on the plains of the Kalahari Desert in Botswana. Their diet consists of insects, snakes, birds, mice, and other rodents. So, can you see it? Yeah, you can. So we know it's multicellular. So when you write this out, the things I'm going to be looking for while I grade is 2 things. The proof and what designation it was given. So in this case, I can see it. So there's my proof. It is multicellular. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for this, and I'm going to be looking for the proof. So then the next one, I'm here, so it's an autotroph. Does it make its own food or does it not? Well, it's not green, so it cannot make its own food. So it is a heterotroph. Now that I'm here, I need to decide, does it have a mouth for ingestion or not? Well, yeah, obviously it has a mouth. Look in the picture. So it has a mouth. So it uses ingestion. Therefore, I know, going down, it is in kingdom Animalia. There we go. So go ahead and try the last 3. When you turn it in, I will grade it and make corrections as needed.